Hello and welcome to Accelerate. I am Matt Stone. This is the podcast where we encourage and inspire CEOs, founders, and visionaries on their big leap journeys. We talk about the stories and strategies that will help you accelerate toward your big leap destination with purpose, humility, an open mind, commitment to growth, and recognition that the way we get there is at least as important as where we end up. And I'm so delighted that you've tuned in today for this quick hit. So I have been thinking about one of the worst coaching questions ever for me, and that is, maybe you've heard it, what do you want? I absolutely have come to loathe and despise this question. And the reason why is because it never gives me much insight. I want a lot of stuff. I want a peanut butter crunch bar. I want ice cream. I want riches. I want a nice car. I want a lot of things. But you know what it took me? Someone asked me this recently and it drove me absolutely crazy. And it's not about them. You know, there's no resentment about the person who asked the question. It was such an insight into what a shitty question it is for insight for me. And maybe you don't agree. And if you don't agree, that's great. Hit me up on Twitter. Tell me why you don't agree with it. But I'll tell you why I think it's a really shitty question. Because when you ask me, what do you want? You're going to get a very typically, that doesn't take me deep into my soul. Let's put it that way. I'm thinking about the right now. I'm thinking about the carnal urges. You know, I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I'm anxious about money. So I want money. Or, you know, I want status all of a sudden because I'm feeling somehow deeply insecure. I'm not going to go to that deep underlying reason immediately. If you ask me, what is it that I want? That's like being in a store. What do you want? What are you looking for? I'm here for some shoes. But if you're taking a big leap, you know, you're in a process of either preparing to, or you're in it, you're going to change from one industry to another. You're bringing in a new executive onto your team that's going to completely radically change the nature of your team. Or maybe you're trying to change your whole culture. What do you want? I mean, what are you going to say? You want a lot of stuff. It takes me back to law school. In law school, we read a book, and if you went to business school, you probably read this too. And even if you didn't, you've probably heard of it. The book Getting to Yes. Do you remember that book? Getting to Yes. What was the point of that? We've got positions and we've got interests. If you're negotiating on positions, you're going to miss the boat. You got to get to the interests. Well, when it comes to self-coaching and, you know, you can't have a coach by your side every minute of the day. So you got to be able to ask yourself some questions that give you insight when you're losing your mind. And one of the questions that I think that works for me much, much better than what is it that I want is, what do I care about? What's important to me? And the reason why it works much better for me is because it takes me to my values. And when I'm connected with my values, I'm going to understand the context of what it is that I want in terms of my values. And then what I want is kind of fungible. I mean, you know, if you're hungry, there's a million different ways to satisfy your hunger. So if you value feeling good, feeling healthy, feeling energetic, well, there's a lot of different ways to get there. And the way you get there on one day may be, you know, better than another day, better than another day. It can change. So I just really want to encourage everybody, including myself, to just keep asking yourself, what is important to me? And I can tell you that in my experience, in any entrepreneurial enterprise, you know, you'll get fixated on, well, we just have to build this thing, build it and they will come. You know, if I can just finish this project, if I can get this course online, if I can get the marketing campaign out. And then when it doesn't land, you know, you focus on getting there. That's your leap, right? You're going to take this risk. You're going to go for it. You're going to create this thing. What if it doesn't come off as you expected it to? I mean, there's just massive disappointment, right? So really staying connected with what it is that you care about with that, in addition to learning, creating everything as a learning exercise, absolutely everything, especially the biggest failures. But that is going to get you much, much further and also keep you a little bit happier in the end. Because what I want, that's commercial. That's throwaway. That doesn't get me deep. And it separates me from myself. And then I'm in trouble. So one of the hardest things to do is maintain perspective in a big leap. You can get some feedback that throws you off, gives you a little bit of self-doubt. You can have something go wrong. Any kind of thing that goes wrong, right, it can make you kind of reconsider what you're doing. And being anchored in what is important to you, what your values are, those sorts of things will keep you on the straight and narrow. I think I'll just end with this, the great phrase, the dog that caught the car, the dog that caught the bus. I remember early in my college career that I had a professor encouraging me to go get a PhD. And I thought, okay, a PhD. Now, knowing me, I could have obsessed for 10 years or 6 years or however long it was from that point. I could have obsessed about getting the diploma and getting the PhD. But I knew even then that at that point, and there's nothing against PhDs, by the way. PhDs are great. If you're driven by a purpose and it's who you really are and you're going to use it, great. But I knew that while I was attracted to the idea of having a PhD, so you can say, what do you want? Well, I want a PhD. I could easily fall into that trap. But I kind of knew that what was important to me, my values, at that moment, pursuing a PhD would have left me in a dog that caught the car situation. I would have hyper-focused on that, probably lost who I was in the process, not remembered why I even started it. And then on the other end go, oh, geez, what have I done the last 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years? So again, no comment about PhDs generally. They're great, but it's just an example. So today I would like to ask you to consider what is really important to you, not what you want. What is important to you? Figure that out and you'll be grounded. Hope that helps. We'll hit you on the next episode of Accelerate, and I promise we will have some exciting interviews to come. It won't just always be me, but I will try and give you a little quick hit to get you going either in your morning or give you a little bit of energy in your afternoon to get perspective and have a great rest of your day. For now, that's all. Thanks for listening. Hit me up on Twitter @MattStoneCo, @MattStoneCo, and leave me a comment about what questions you think get you centered better. So go to Matt Stone Co, MattStoneCo on Twitter. I'm going to post this episode announcement. Find that and leave me a comment. What is it that you like to ask yourself that gives you better insight? And if you disagree with me about that question, you can say it there too. That's perfectly fine. Until next time, bye-bye for now. Thanks for listening.